If you are looking for the best BST 1440p GPU, then you are at right place there. Watch this video till end and subscribe to the channel. We have also put links of products in the description. Make sure you have viewed it once. Let's start the video. Number 1. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070, the best graphics card on the market for 1440p gaming. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 delivers excellent performance, on par with the RTX 2080 Ti even, without costing an arm and a leg. In fact, the RTX 3070 is capable enough to not only deliver smooth 1440p gaming, but also bring 4K gaming to the mainstream for the first time. And did we mention the fact that this GPU is affordable too? It's no wonder it tops our list. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 does for 4K gaming what the GeForce GTX 970 did for 1080p gaming back when it was released, by bringing a whole new world of image quality to the mainstream PC gamer. Nearly a decade ago, 1080p gaming at max settings and high frame rates was considered the domain of elite PC builds. But all of a sudden the GTX 970 dropped and brought stunning Full HD graphics to the best PC games to the everyday player, providing outstanding performance on games that are still considered graphically intensive such as Batman, Arkham Knight, and The Witcher 3. With the GTX 970, you no longer had to break the bank or make compromises to get high-quality performance. Now, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 has done the same thing for 4K gaming. There are some differences, of course. When released, the GTX 970 came at a much more reasonable price, going for $329, about $250, a for $160 upon release, while the RTX 3070 goes for pricier, though still reasonable, $499, $469, a $809. Regardless, they share one essential thing in common by bringing the next revolution in gaming resolution to the masses. There are more powerful graphics cards in the RTX 3000 series line, such as the impressively powerful GeForce RTX 3080 or the RTX 3090, but the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 is still a mighty performer that almost goes head-to-head with the previous generation's flagship, the RTX 2080 Ti, without costing $1,199, $1,099, a $1,899, and that combination of affordable price and high performance makes it the best graphics card for those priced out of the elite tier RTX 3080 and RTX 3090. Number 2. AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT. The AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT is quite the performer, able to deliver fantastic 1440p performance without drawing too much power or overheating your PC. And though it's a tad more expensive than the RTX 3060 while offering a similar amount of power, it's more than able to meet most users' needs. But, again, there may not be a cooler GPU out there. Literally, you won't suffer from thermal throttling or overheating if you push it, so it may not be perfect and may not come with ray tracing. But, for what it offers and how much it costs, it's well deserving of its title as the best 1440p graphics card of 2022 for most people. Now that the current generation of graphics cards has been around for a while, and we have the Xbox Series X and PS5 inadvertently pushing the standards for PC games higher, it's not just 4K gamers that are going to need an upgrade. The AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT is meant to power next-generation games at 1080p, taking the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 head-on, especially when it comes to traditional rasterization without shiny ray tracing effects. However, the Radeon RX 6600 XT also comes at a time where it's harder than ever to buy any graphics card, let alone the latest and greatest. Because of this, AMD dumped the suggested price above what the competing RTX 3060 comes with. And it's not hard to see why. It's not like you're going to find any graphics card at the retail price either way right now, so why not make it a bit more expensive? But the current graphics card situation won't last forever. So the big question is whether or not the AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT will be worth it in the long term, especially if you're still fine waiting a bit to buy a graphics card. Number 3. AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT. While AMD has been successfully battling Intel with its CPU offerings, it's had a harder time differentiating itself from Nvidia when it comes to graphics cards. It doesn't help that its newer GPUs such as the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT are not really any cheaper than its direct competition. With that being said, The 6700 XT doesn't need to be cheaper since its performance is so superb. If you want to play your games on max settings at 1440, this card will do it. And, though it's not perfectly implemented yet, ray tracing is finally here for AMD. The AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT has made AMD Radeon A2 architecture a bit more accessible to more consumers. In theory, this new graphics card is supposed to bring Radeon A2 down to the mid-range market, sitting somewhere between the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti and RTX 3070 in performance. That's not quite how it shakes out in reality, however. The AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT price tag of $479/PS420 means that it's leaning closer to the RTX 3070 in cost, while its performance falls behind the RTX 3060 Ti in enough number of games to matter. Anyone hoping that this graphics card would help topple Nvidia's stranglehold on the graphics card market will be disappointed. If the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT were $30 less expensive, it would have been the perfect price for the level of performance it brings to the table. But as it stands now, it's hard to recommend to everyone. But generally speaking, our advice for picking up the best graphics card for your gaming PC is to figure out what games you're going to be playing the most, and picking the graphics card that performs best for your budget in those games. Assassin's Creed fans that have around $500 to drop on a new GPU, for example, will definitely want to pick this card up. It also runs the Resident Evil Village admirably, hitting 58 FPS at 4K with ray tracing, very close to that sweet spot. So, in a lot of ways, the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT exemplifies this approach perfectly. Number 4. AMD Radeon RX 6800. If you think AMD is still stuck in the budget and mid-range markets, think again. The AMD Radeon RX 6800 marks AMD's return to the high-end graphics card market, and it's a premium ace without the incredibly premium price. This GPU delivers impressive ray tracing at 1440 and even solid gaming performance at 4K, while being a better value than its direct rival, the RTX 3070, thanks to its VRAM. Plus, AMD Smart Access Memory technology will make it even faster. The AMD Radeon RX 6800 is a welcome addition to the AMD graphics cards roster, alongside the AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. It's another viable alternative to Nvidia's higher-end graphics cards in the enthusiast space, which Team Green has dominated for years. Before the AMD Radeon RX 6800's arrival, GPU like the Radeon Roman 7, Radeon RX 5700 XT, and the RX 5700 couldn't quite hold a candle to Nvidia's high-performance range. With it on the shelves, AMD can now properly compete with, or even outperform such cards as the RTX 3070, as well as allow its fans to enjoy the advantages of ray tracing. We only wish AMD had kept its usual price advantage. Unfortunately, AMD is charging $80 more at $579, likely around PS $579, a $800 for the AMD Radeon RX 6800, next to the RTX 3070's $499, PS $469, a $809. It costs 10% more for about 15% more performance. It's still an affordable high-end graphics card and a promising sign of things to come from AMD. Number 5. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti is an incredibly powerful GPU, bridging the gap between 1440 and 4K gaming. It can dabble in that higher resolution for some games, but it really shines when it comes to 1440. And, now that ray tracing has been around for a generation, the 3060 Ti does an excellent job of implementing it without too much hits to the performance. While a superb graphics card, and probably more than what most people looking at gaming in 1440 need, it's not perfect as it comes with an annoying 12-pin power connector that's not standard, but you do get an 8-pin adapter. On the plus side, this GPU stays much cooler than its predecessors when running graphically intensive tasks. With the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti, you don't have to break the bank to get access to next-gen graphics performance. And, while you can find the RTX 3060 for even less, the RTX 3060 Ti provides better value since it offers more performance for the price. In particular, The 3060 Ti improves upon the 3060 solid 1008 at performance by letting you dive into the latest AA games at 1440 on ultra settings. And if you use DLSS, you may even be able to squeeze some 4K gaming out of it.